Well, at a time when political and religious tensions are running high, some Boise Christians are opening their arms to local Muslims on their way to pray. 6 on Your Side's Ian McGrady reports.
Laura Armstrong and her husband Nick lined up volunteers to greet Muslims on their way to the Islamic Center of Boise to pray.
It is because we are Christians and we feel that we are called in the Bible to love our neighbors.
She feels it's valuable because at one time she and her husband Nick, as Christians, were in the minority in the predominantly Muslim country of Malaysia.
Our neighbors were the sweetest, kindest people. All of them were Muslims around us. We were Christian, we were the minority, so we know what it means to be the minority, and we want to be welcoming like we were welcomed.
Imad Awadallah lives in Boise.
Have I been a Muslim all my life? And the answer is yes, and I studied Islam, I understand Islam.
And he says he feels American politics don't reflect his experience with Islam.
It really pains me when I hear people extracting things that are completely out of context so that they can position them as Islam being a hate religion.
He says Islam has its own equivalent of an eye for an eye, like it says in the Old Testament book of Leviticus. But in Islam,
God actually classifies the people that forgive as a higher class of believers than the ones that retaliate.
He says Islam has an equivalent of turn the other cheek, like it says in the book of Matthew. But he despairs that there are even Muslims who interpret Islam to their own ends.
When the hate mongers pick up verses or incomplete verses of the Quran to cite hate, violence, and extremism, I can take out verses, full verses, that have the essence, the meaning that is all about tolerance, forgiveness, and love.
He felt the presence of the volunteers was a positive experience.
You would like to have this under different circumstances, but the fact that the community comes together is a great thing.
And Laura says if a Christian has fear,
I would implore them to get out of their home. If they have any questions about people who are Muslim, get out and meet a person who's a Muslim. Get out and meet somebody from another culture.
Ian McGrady, 6 on Your Side.